Let's see how to do a similar thing in subs. So I created a simple Vellum cloth network. Let's dive inside, starting with Planner Patch, then Transform, then Vellum Configure Cloth, Vellum Solver, Vellum IO, and Vellum Post Process. And when I play it, you will see that the cloth falls down, which means we have some sort of force, probably gravity in our scene, which is here in Vellum Solver. Okay, so we do not have any ground in the scene. You can see that the cloth doesn't interact with the ground. And if we wanted to create it, we would usually in DOPS use the shelf tool, ground plane, or create a ground plane from the tab menu. However, here we're working in subs, so we cannot do that. Instead, we can go to Vellum Solver, and in here, go to the Solver tab, scroll down, and you will see ground position. We can just tick it, and now you can see our ground plane. And when I play the simulation, you will see that the cloth will interact with the ground. We can also move it, so we have X, Y, and Z axis. At the moment, it's the same as our grid. Here we go. If we look at the Vellum Solver from the top, we can see it's quite similar to the one in DOP. However, we have one additional tab here that we can use, and this is Visualize. So it's the same as we would have in Vellum Post Process in the DOP network. And in here, we also have it. So in Vellum Post Process, we have Visualize, and we also have Visualize in Vellum Solver that we can use. So we can switch on failed self-collision, failed external collision, and also some other helpful visualizations. In the Solver tab, we also see the same settings, so sub-steps, constraint iterations, collision passes, post-collision passes, and so on and so forth. So you can see it's very similar to the one in DOPS. Okay, so now we want to add colliders to the scene. How do we do this? Let's zoom in our Vellum constraint. And let's see what inputs we have here. So we have Vellum geometry, Vellum constraints, constraint geometry, and then collision geometry. So this is where we'll plug in our collision geometry. So let's just click on this third input and let's create a box. Okay. And if I display it, you can see I can either see the cloth or I can see the box. So what I will do here is create a simple merge node and merge the output of Vellum Post Process and also this box. Okay. And now I can change it to polygon mesh. I can make it a bit smaller. And I will also move it. Cool. Okay. So let's play it and let's see if it worked. Brilliant, so you can see that the cloth interacts with the box, it all looks fine, but what if we want to have more than one collider in the scene? Well, we'll simply use merge node again. So after the box, we'll have merge, and then in here we can plug in as many colliders as we want. So for example, sphere, make sure to change it to the same primitive type. Again, I will make it smaller and move it. And again, now I need to plug the merge to the final merge in here to see both the sphere and the box. Okay, and let's play it. Let's see if it worked. Brilliant. So everything is working correctly, and that's it. That's the introduction to collisions in Vellum.